Right, okay, so I cannot tell you how important finding the certificates of a certificated fire door is. It is so crucial that we get this step right. And I'm just going to demonstrate the difference between getting it right and getting it wrong for this example. So, for example, if I come to Google and I type in CF380, which is a door by Premdoor, this is just not the route that we want to go down. First of all, this top result really gives us the impression that we've found the certificate, that we've done this correctly. But this is coming from Selco Builders Warehouse, who are a merchant. They are not the manufacturer of the door. They are not the company that did the testing for the door. So there's a good chance that this is going to be out of date, that this is the incorrect and wrong certificate to hold, and straight away off Google. It's just not the right one that we want to use. And another reason is there are completely unrelated results here. A BodyMax machine by Powerhouse Fitness, CF380, Smith Machine Multi-Gym, and more concerningly, we can see that CF380 yields results for a handgun. I mean, how fantastic! We've found a completely unrelated set of results here. And the reason why we don't want to be bringing up things that are related to handguns, especially is if we work at an organisation such as the NHS, within the fire service, if we're at a company where there's a firewall, we all know that certain IT departments can be quite gung-ho when it comes to the searches that employees put in. Nobody wants to be sat in front of an IT manager explaining, I was looking for a fire door certificate, not a handgun. I might sound a bit silly, but you know exactly what I'm talking about if you've ever had to explain to an IT department why you've searched for something. So let's look at a far better way of finding the certificate for this door, this CF380. Well, I know that this door is manufactured by Premdoor. So the best thing to do is to type in Premdoor and then type in fire door certificate. And that is what I've done here. If I type that in, the first thing that comes up is Masonite technical documents, and I can click on that, and then I can come straight through to here, Premdoor fire certificates. Click on that as well, and now we're on the Warrington Fire website, and I can scroll down to the specific fire door certificate that I'm looking for, and that is this one here, CF380. I press view certificate, it downloads, I open that up, and there we go. I've got the absolute cast iron guaranteed correct certificate here. And I can scroll through this document. You'll see it looks very, very wordy, and it's not necessarily something that is easy on the eye at first, but these are fantastic resources. They really, really are. And let me try and give you an example of just how important this document is for the CF380. If I use the Control F function here, it's brought up the find bar or the search bar up here, search box, and I can type in anything. I can type in hinge, and there we go. 33 times in this document the word hinge is mentioned. I scroll through, and there it is. I've got the full main part of this document that talks about hinges. And it says that hinges shall be CE marked against EN 1935 for use on 30-minute fire door assemblies. And it states that there needs to be a minimum 3 number hinges per leaf. They need to be of steel, phosphor, bronze, brass, butt, journal supported and pin. Any washers or ball bearings need to be of phosphor, bronze or steel. It even gives us the positions. It tells us that the intumescent protection, in this case, non-required. And there is this misconception when it comes to fire doors that all fire doors require intumescent protection behind the hinges, but they don't. And in this clearly proves that right here. It's got information on speed set hinges. Let's go through information on locks and latches. This is really cool because it shows us option 1 does not require intumescent protection. Just look at the max case dimensions, the maximum fore end dimensions. They are smaller than option 2. But what's the main implication of this? For option 2, intumescent protection is required. That is so crucial to us because we can now start to see, depending on the lock case that we use, there is a different intumescent protection outcome. Option 1 doesn't require it. Option 2 does. This is how we ensure that we get the fire certification, the fire door certification correct. This is how we make sure that our installations are correct every single time. And as an inspector, these are the kind of things that you need to look out for when you're checking certificated doors. Let's just go through here. It's got information on self-closing devices. So much information in these documents. By the way, I'll remind you, this is free. This is completely free. I found this through a Google search. And then we come to coat hooks and other surface mounted hardware. I really want to show you this because it says they are permitted providing that any fixings are not bolted through the full thickness of the door. So for this particular door, this CF380 door, that completely rules out maglocks that are bolted through the full thickness of the door. Remember, heat transfer one side of the door to the other. This is so important because how many doors do you see in places like care homes, in schools, in hospitals that have got this maglock bolted through the full thickness of the door, and in many cases, it's just not allowed. Check the certification. There you go. I'll just show you a couple of other things. I'm just going to scroll through it quite quickly. It's got information on the door frame. What else is really important here? Installation instructions. I love this one here. Door assemblies shall be installed as stated in BS 8214, which is something that you'll see more of shortly. This here, door leaves may be trimmed to fit the frame by the following maximum amounts. Styles 3mm each, top 3mm, bottom 5mm. Crucial information here to ensure that we get this right. Intumescent seals tells us that a single 15mm wide by 4mm thick Lorient Polyproduct 617 intumescent seal is required at the head and at the vertical edges. But it does go on to say that you may utilise alternative seals in line with the relevant certifier approval for the proposed intumescent seal. So there is the potential to use other seals as well. If I haven't got it across to you, this is so crucial. This is so important. This is how we make sure that as installers, as maintainers, and as inspectors of fire doors, we get it right every single time. Certificated fire doors, check the hinges. If you're an inspector and you're checking the hinges on a door and you find that actually the top hinge is 300mm from the top of the door to the top hinge, you know that the door is now, the certification is invalid. And you can write that on your report. This is so important. So I really hope that you have understood this, and good luck trying to find your own certificates in the future. Thank you.